So currently we've closed 52 homes strictly from agent referrals. And a few of those have been local.
Wow. So the question is this: how do most agents who don't have access to the secrets the top agents in our industry hoard themselves grow and prosper in today's real estate market? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Hi, I'm Aaron Muchastegui, and welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. Hi, Real Estate Rockstars. This is Aaron Muchastegui, and I am so excited to share with you our newest head podcast sponsor. And this is a company called RentRedi. RentRedi is a landlord-tenant software that has everything you need to manage your rentals from your phone or your computer. No need to be tech savvy, download multiple programs, or hire a specialist. RentRedi is easy to use for everyone. And if you do have a question, their customer support team is available to make sure managing your properties doesn't have to be harder than it already is. RentRedi has a feature for every step of the landlord process. You can list your vacancy for free to Realtor.com and doorsteps, find quality tenants with a full tenant screening process, send and e-sign leases right from the app, and track maintenance requests. Yes, there really is one app for all of that. Best of all, not only is RentRedi easy to use with awesome customer service, but it's affordable as well. Get a subscription of RentRedi for as little as $1 a year when you sign up for their annual plan using code ROCKSTAR. Right? Now that's crazy. $1 a year. Why wouldn't you go sign up just to see, even if you've got one tenant or want to try it with one of them? So that's right. You get a whole year of RentRedi for just $1 when you sign up at rentredi.com. It's spelled RENTREDI.com using code ROCKSTAR. Okay. Real Estate Rockstars, I am absolutely delighted to have CC Underwood with me, and we had the chance to meet doing another webinar that I did for my offices and for our regions. But CC Underwood is, I would say, fair to say, famous, certainly inside of our company and elsewhere. So will you give us, instead of me giving you a bio, why don't you just tell us about yourself for starters?
Okay. So I'm married. I will be 40 this year. So big 40 coming in hot. And I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised here. I probably will never leave. I don't fly. An interesting little fact. I will drive everywhere. Even if it's 16 hours, I'm there and back. I have a team here in Jacksonville. Currently, there's 14 of us. We have 5 admin, 1 ISA, and 8 agents, including myself. I'm very, very limited in sales, maybe about 1 a month. And currently, so far, we're at 219 closed for the year. We're just over 64 million.
I am furiously writing that stuff down because they're astronomical numbers. And I'll ask you to repeat some of it because I'm writing and I find it so interesting. So there's how many on your team?
14.
14, 5 admin, 1 ISA, and tell me the rest again.
And 8 agents. That includes me.
8 agents, including you. And then you told me that you only do, you do how many sales yourself?
Try to not do more than 10 a year. So I get yelled at a lot. I do.
Okay. Who yells at you?
My director of operations, Katie.
Okay. Good. All right. And with 219 closed, let me, and I'll just start the interview right off by asking you, what's different during COVID? What are you doing differently? And in that, we'll get some of the rest of how you do your business.
For sure. COVID was a big hit for us. We started out really strong year, super goals. And then, COVID happened. And then in May, which is now known on our team as the May Massacre, we had 7 people leave in about 45 days. So we had a huge exodus, some mental, some, for they needed to work from home, their dynamics changed, their needs changed. And so that was probably the biggest turnover that I've ever seen for us. We're used to a couple a year. We've always had low, and that changed everything. So we at one point had 19 on the team when we started this year. And so we've lost and we're rebuilding.
Okay. And let me ask you this. So I'm a realtor and, I'm doing pretty good on my own. Why in the world would I want to come work for you? Just for starters.
For starters, our team, we have it made right now where our agents, we can prove that we're able to generate 2 to 3 times more referrals than they would on their own. We communicate with their database over 100 times a year. And we know that when an agent is top of mind, that they're able to get more referrals. So we do that better than anyone in this town is stay in touch with our current and past customers. We love on them. And if you're looking for a team to take all that leverage off of you, handle all of your marketing and increase your referrals, we're that team.
Okay. I'm sold, by the way. Now one of the things is that I really, in my work with realtors, and I have 3,000 realtors working in the offices that I own, and then closer to 9,000 agents in the regions that I supervise, which include the 3,000. And our price point's a little different, admittedly. Our price point's higher. But I find lots of agents who are really good at doing the deals. So in other words, so if you give them a house to sell or you give them a buyer to service, they actually do. There's so many that actually do a great job, right, and yet they don't have a great business. So, is that the bridge that that's the bridge you're helping them cross?
Yeah, I think that's a hard one. I mean, I saw that in my own business as a single agent, and then you get in this trap of lead crack that you have to find the next one, and you have no time. It's not that you don't want or care about the people that you service. You literally have no time because you're just struggling to keep it all together. You're wondering where the next deal is going to come from. And that is your focus, right? It's to stay in business, to make money. Nothing wrong with that. There's only one of you. You have to choose. Go get new business or, hang out with the old. And until you're able to hire leverage enough to create those systems. And I tell people it's kind of like you're not hiring a realtor for me to get your home under contract right now. You're hiring me for the experience, right? The 13 years to figure all this crap out, to test it, to thousands and thousands of dollars on CRMs and lead sources to find what works for us so that you can just hop on. That's that whole benefit. Like really, we're absorbing you into our world. We're taking care of you and you don't have to stop what you're doing.
Okay.
Rockstar Nation, this is Aaron Amuchastegui. Hey, I hate to interrupt the current podcast that you're listening to, but I am so excited to share this with you. I just finished interviewing the original host of this podcast, my good friend, Pat Hyben. I got to talk to Pat about how he started his real estate career and a whole bunch of tips and tactics that he used to be successful. So if you haven't listened to it yet, go check out State of the Market number 49. On there, I get to talk to Pat about all those different things. And in there too, he talked a lot about his 6 Steps for 7 Figures book and training program that he built over the last couple of years. And I realized I haven't done a good enough job of reminding all of you lately about all of the resources that we've built for you out there. So if you want to check out Pat's course, we've got like a 3-minute summary video when you go to it. It includes so many easy to follow tips that you can follow on it like a day-to-day basis. You get email reminders, all sorts of different things that come with that course. You find that, you go to rebusuniversity.com, R-E-B-U-S, rebusuniversity.com. Look at courses. You can find the 6 Steps for 7 Figures book. And really, there's a whole bunch of other courses in there too. Our normal prices used to be $1,500 or $2,000 a course. These are real deal professional courses. But now during quarantine, a lot of them are priced down to like $90, $95. So we've slashed the prices because we know right now is a time for everybody to be focusing on growth and education, especially while they're feeling like they don't have as much to do. And if you go in there and you figure like there's a lot of different courses you want, maybe you don't want to buy the a la carte. You can go to futureofrealestatetraining.com and you can get access to all of our different courses for $97 a month. I think there's a discount on there if you go a year, or there's even like a lifetime option you can pay. You get access to every course we ever put on Rebus University. for as long as we have it. So go check out those options, Rebus University or futurerealestatetraining.com. All right, back to your podcast. Sorry for the interruption.
Can I ask what your split is with the agents that work with you? Absolutely.
So whenever we're hiring, when we bring agents on, we will wait till the very last minute to discuss splits. We won't have that conversation up front. We want them to be all in, right? You can't just dip your toe in a team and say, I think I want to try this out. You have to be all in. And so if you're all in, that means you believe in us, the team, that we're going to help you get what you want. So we don't go over splits until you're signing the contract. So when we go through our hiring process, that's what it is. But overall, we do have a different split. So if it's a team listing, all of our agents can work with buyers and sellers. So if it's a team listing, meaning we have provided it by an ISA, my Sphere, agent referral, they're receiving 25%. Leads they generate for sellers, they receive 35%. We do have a little bit different if it is an experienced realtor and they are bringing us their book of business, their past customers. They'll get a little bump on that because, again, we spent no money to generate that business. They did. And then if it's buyers, it's pretty much flat across the board. They get 45% selling 4 or more in a month. It bumps to 50. And, we're all in sales. You want more, sell more.
Got it. Okay. So I'm an agent, and part of the reason why I ask this, because I'm always thinking about what does our audience want to hear, right? And so our audience is made up of lots of realtors that are on their own. There are also lots of very experienced teams, so I try to cater. First of all, I want to get as much for our audience as we can, but I also want to cater to your strengths and the things that you're good at. And I do find it fascinating. And I think if you're a single agent and you're listening to this, there's a lot you can learn, even if you never want to join a team. Because the idea of why would I want to join this team, right? And we have reasons and discussion points, this sort of thing. It can help you move your business to a more purposeful one, a more leveraged one. Because again, what I see a lot of is I see people that get very busy and then they drop their lead generation activities because, like you said, they don't have time to do everything, right? And then they complete the business and they're like, oh, what's going to happen? And then they start lead generating until they get another more deals. So, and it's not in my view. Look, do your business how you want to, but it's not, in my view, a great way to have a career and a living and that kind of ups and downs.
And you look how long it takes to get there. I mean, we use the term, rock stars in our industry. Well, my first year in real estate, I sold 7 homes. The second year was 14. I wasn't a rock star by any sense of that word, nor was I the third year when I finally went full time. So when you're looking at a team, you're looking at splits, right? Where this value of our time and where we spend it and how much money we make really needs to be a part of that conversation, because there's no way I would have continued to make it on my own had I not gone full time, cut the cord, and just continue to push forward. Most agents, if they sold, 5 or 7 homes in their first year, that's still good. That's still really good. It's not sufficient for an income though. So on a team, if you're looking at it, all right, well, I can make $40,000 to $50,000 in my first year, 70 the second, and 6+ figures in the third. And there's that opportunity because I don't have to get stuck in the busy work. I remember how much time I spent, when Facebook came along. Oh, I got to get a Facebook group. I had to learn all the time spent learning how to be techie. Do I need a website? I even paid somebody freelance, I think $5,000 for a website once, because I thought I had to have my own cool thing. Nope, still wrong. Don't need it.
Absolutely. So tell me what's your average sale price, just so we can calibrate this for our audience.
And we're right around 270, 280. We're 270 on the listing side, 290 on the buy side right now. So.
Got it. Okay, great. And so, a flagship office that I own is the Beverly Hills office, and we do, our average sale price is over $1.4 million. But also, I have an office in Bakersfield, California, that's a lot more like the price points that you're talking about. And so that's one of the reasons why we look at units a lot of times. So at $1.3 million, it's like, if I did 7 houses, you're talking about some real money. And yet the beauty of this is you can apply all these systems and models to get that.
Yes.
So I know you're you're heavy in contacting your sphere of influence. Are you buying any leads? Are you buying leads anywhere? Are you generating your own leads outside of your sphere?
We are. We actually just started that a little bit last year. So for Zillow, we pay the bare minimum. I think $315 a month to be premier. So we found the cheapest zip code that we can find for that purpose, right? And we do get some leads from that. We do have pay-per-click through our website. And our newest venture is a company called House Gather. And there's a bunch of agent referral lead sources. So we'll pay them. We get leads on a referral basis.
Okay. And one of the things that, when agents talk to me about increasing their business, one of the first things I do is say, who are you going out? Who are you meeting? Who are you adding to your database? That sort of thing. And, I'll often tell them, don't go to the board of realtors because, it's all realtors. So go to other events that you can add people to your database. And the last time I spoke to you, you're getting a lot of agent referrals.
Yes.
So talk to me about that. How are you getting the agent referrals? Why is that? And how is that an important part of your business?
I think as agents, as professionals, it's always looking at raising the bar. And this old school mentality of, I don't want to work with another realtor. Like you said, it's just kind of what you've been taught. But I feel like especially within Keller Williams, it's celebrated to do that agent to agent, right? We don't need a third party. We're not going through relocation. We are the relocation. We are each other's biggest advocates.
Sure.
Across the nation, different states, anytime I've ever gone to a training, I've always made sure that it was in another location, specifically a feeder location, right? You can be very purposeful, even with agent referral, lead generation, adding value, always being a giver of your own stuff. We're open book. Someone says, hey, how do you do that? Let me share that with you. Dancing on TikTok, right? There's a whole agent community. We've gotten agent referrals from TikTok. It's just finding that common ground and building those relationships. So currently we've closed 52 homes strictly from agent referrals. And a few of those have been local.
Wow. So think about that. 52 transactions year to date?
Year to date.
Wow. Okay. 52 transactions year to date from agent referrals. One of the things, and I'm just going to pull out some of the highlights here so we can hit it. One of the things you said is feeder location. So how are you determining if you're in Jacksonville, how are you determining what's a feeder location? I'm in LA, maybe somebody else is in New Jersey or in Michigan. So what's the feeder? How do I find the feeder location?
I think we just look for that common where we receive the agent referrals from. So in our CRM, we do tag them, the city and state. So that's still a work in progress as far as super tracking all of this stuff now that we're becoming purposeful and we're aware. The Carolinas are big here. Of course, military bases are very big here. So San Diego's a nice feeder for us, actually.
Wow. Okay.
We do get a little bit of Los Angeles. We just from California to here. Texas is a feeder, Atlanta, and then New York, New Jersey. Those are great feeders. But even within Florida, Miami and Orlando, they'll come up to Jacksonville.
Okay, so now I have figured out what is the feeder for me. How do I get the agent referrals from there? So okay, I'm in LA. Let's just say, geez, I found obviously big cities, New York, Chicago, whatever. I found that I did see some people coming from Nashville because there's an entertainment a community there back and forth between Nashville. So now I'm like, geez, okay, so Nashville might be a great feeder community from a smaller city for me. How do I get the agent referrals from Nashville?
Well, I mean, you could always go direct, right? If we've got a great network, it's pretty easy to go on any brokerage, website, click down, it says our agents.
Right. Okay.
So you could do it from a non-relational start, because this is good for any brokerage. And you can just find that you could pick multiple brokerage. How many indies don't have a referral network that could benefit from something and adding that referral income, that we could all use together? You could call them up and just say, hey, you know what? I've noticed I've had a buyer that's moving to Jacksonville from your area. So I was curious, do you guys have a Jacksonville referral partner for your brokerage, for yourself? And you could call every single agent and really have that conversation. Don't just spam them with an email like, oh, look at all my properties in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. We get enough agent emails as far as that's concerned, or you start relational, you find a city, find a class that is specific for realtors, and you go attend it and you network there. And now you can start that collection, your database, follow up. Hey, we met here. I know that, I went here, I wanted to meet you. If you ever have a buyer or seller in Jacksonville, I'd love to be a referral partner and just add value that way.
And I'm just thinking on the fly, I wonder if it would make sense, for example, to use that example of Nashville or whatever. What if I was going to cold call rather than cold calling through a roster of agents? What if I cold called the manager and said, hey, it's Paul Morris from, such agency in Beverly Hills. And I noticed that we've had quite a few referrals from Nashville. You are the biggest firm in Nashville. I selected you because, you have great this, that, and the other thing. I'd like to establish a referral partnership between your firm and my team, where I'd like to serve, whatever. And then any referrals that I get from my Los Angeles network that want to go to Nashville, I'll keep you guys top of mind. Is that a good?
For sure. Even, things like this, calling up, say, hey, with this virtual atmosphere that we're in, I'd love to add value. Here's my strengths. Do you ever have a broker meeting where I could come in and I can add value to your agents? That's the biggest thing. Just teach, go teach. You can be the person in front of everyone. You don't have to be in the middle, go teach and different. I mean, people are hungry for little nuggets of information of how they're building a business, and that can apply in different markets. So you don't even have to go anywhere. Hey, Zoom me in. I'd love to teach about this. Who wants it?
Mm-hmm. I love it. One of the things that you said, and you said so many great things, I was writing furiously, was that you are, with your database, you're touching people 100 times a year. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, even the really purposeful, like Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, we're really talking about 33 touches, right? So tell me why you think, hitting a database twice a week makes any sort of sense, and what's your messaging to that database that you're hitting so often? And
that is always changing also. So because we are so heavy for referrals, so out of 219, right now we're at 59 that is strictly from referrals in our sphere. 52 are agent referrals and 40 are our past customer repeats. So, the majority of our closed sales are coming from these sources. So that's why we want to stay in touch. If it's top of inbox, top of mind, but also not everyone's in their email. We communicate with people through Facebook, through video. We're starting to integrate a little more BombBomb, a little more video into our messaging. It's events, it's giveaways, our rewards club. So every time we are sending out, hey, we're giving away an Apple Watch, or hey, here's our Mother's Day giveaway. We're having our we just had a virtual cooking class. Wow.
Right.
Love it.
I remember you telling me about that. And one of the things I'm always talking to people about is find their superpower. So if you're, if you love gardening or whatever, it's really your passion. Even if you're not the teacher, you go and you find the local expert and interview them. That then becomes great content. You're fired up about it. But it doesn't need to be gardening. It doesn't need to be cooking. Find the things that you're really interested in, you're really passionate about. And then is that outgoing message? So again, I guess I'll ask it again. It's like, what is that? If you have 100 outgoing messages, a lot of things that I see are, oh, hey, we just listed this. We just sold. I look at people's Instagram and it's just all just listed or just sold. And I'm just like, nobody wants to see that. As a realtor, owning a real estate company, boy, that's exciting to me. Let me show myself how much I've sold. Boy, that's exciting. But unless it's the house next door to mine, I'm not really interested.
Right. Yes. I mean, yes, you need people to know that you're relevant as a realtor. That's fantastic. You're looking at this from different angles. There's your public facing, right? People need to know that you're an expert. Are you educating them? Yes, they do want to know that you sell homes too. Are you fun? Are you relatable? And are you an expert? Are you giving advice? Your database, yes, there are times to ask for referrals, but I honestly can't think of maybe once or twice a year where we're actually asking for a referral.
Interesting.
Very, very little. And a lot of those are in correlation with, if we're having a contest, like we're having an internal contest and we're reaching out to the database and we're like, hey, we really need your help. This is going to be fun. We're all competing against each other. We'd love your support and a seller. This is what we're looking for. But I mean, it is every single month, every October we have a team retreat, team advance, whatever you want to call it. We plan what we're going to do for the following year. And that is all encompassing for public and our rewards club. Those are the giveaways, the touches, the text messages. Hey, you want to win an Apple Watch? We'd love to see you win. We're having a contest. We're having trivia night. So when you combine our weekly, right, our generic weekly database emails with all of the events, with all of the giveaways, it is over 100 touches a year. We're calling them, we're texting them, we're following up. We've got fall photos. There's so much engagement going on and they don't overlap. So we never start one until we finished another. And it's just constant.
Okay. So you said generic weekly. So that's going to be 52. So what's your generic weekly outreach look like? Is it a newsletter that you're emailing out?
So, it's, what's going on with our team. Yes, it's our open houses, new listings. So we're looking to change that up with kind of a message from me or something cool that's going to be relevant about the market. New programs that we offer. We just started a Reno Now, Pay Later program. So we want to make sure that our database knows if someone has an older home and they need to sell their home and they don't have the cash, it's all wrapped up in equity. We've got a program for you. I'll be educating them on cash offer programs. Again, I would say that's probably that's not our strength part. So that's when we're going to start into bomb.
That's your baseline.
That's our baseline. That goes every single week, no matter what.
That's your baseline. And I love it because I think what that can do is, if my baseline is, I'm on the receiving end, and so your baseline is, well, we're going to send Paul 52 newsletters. One of the things about that is, unless it's really annoying to me, I'm going to look at that and I'm going to go, oh, yeah, right. It's the thing from CC, next. But even if I do that, it does sort of keep you top of mind. And then if you're peppering on top of that things that are interesting, and I'm like, okay, so that captures my attention. I can see how that works very well together. Whereas, for example, just a 52-week generic alone is going to have a lot less effectiveness, right?
Yeah. It does. And that's why you have to change it up, because everyone communicates a little bit differently. So there are those that, they like it. They love emails. They want to see what we're doing. We have handwritten notes that go out, or still writing thinking of you cards that go out to our rewards club, birthday cards that go out for their birthday month. So they're getting touched by socially, on the phone, through print, and through email. They're going to engage with us in some way. We are top of mind.
Hey, Real Estate Rockstars listeners, I am sorry to interrupt again, but I want to do a quick commercial break. But this commercial break is different. This is stuff that I think you need, and this is me talking to you about some of the stuff that we had. So, recently we had a lot of people reach out to us and say, hey, why don't you do a real estate mastermind? Why don't you do something where a lot of the listeners can get together and do some Zoom calls and ask each other questions and really just try to brainstorm and work together? I mean, there's a million masterminds out there. I don't know if this is something that we really want to do or not, or if we do, if we're going to limit it to maybe 20 or 30 people. We're just trying to figure out if any of you guys are interested. So if you have any interest at all in joining a mastermind with real estate agents around the country that are part of the Real Estate Rockstars network, go to hibandigital.com/mastermind and just join the wait list. It's just it's just an interest list for us to see, is this something we want to be doing? So that's number one. Number two, you go to hibandigital.com/foreclosures. We have a 2-day thing that we just finished recording. Now it's also inside Rebus University. And so you can go to Rebus University and look at it. If you're already a member of Rebus, a lot of you guys are in the, the monthly fee where you get access to everything. So we have a new course in there, 17 hours of content on how to buy foreclosures, on how to find deals, on how to, do title, go to auction, also turn that into clients for your real estate agents, how you can turn somebody that's in default behind on their mortgages into a client. So go, check out that course, especially for, you can buy the course now, but again, most of you guys already subscribed to all that. I just wanted you to know there's another 17 hours of content, great content that I just recorded on there that all of you guys have access to now at Rebus University. And then finally, we have software that we talk about on and off. It's called Padhawk. And in Padhawk, you can use that to go find leads. Everyone is really, really busy right now. And we're so busy. People are selling and they're saying there isn't enough product on the market, right? So they can't find houses. Well, Padhawk will help you find houses before they're listed. It helps you find owners that should be listing their properties or people that might want to get there. I recorded a quick video. It's like 6 or 7 minutes long for you guys to look at, real estate agent specific, on how you can use the software in order to do it. So let's go to hibandigital.com/leads. Again, there's a video in there. I talk about how you can use the software to do it. Check it out. If it's something that you like, you may want to sign up for it. $99 a month, but it's nationwide, any city out there, and it is a great way to find houses. So right now, people are saying there's lots of buyers, but we can't find enough houses. Well, maybe you can use this software to go find somebody that hasn't listed yet and make them an offer on their house. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program. Thank you for letting me interrupt you with that break.
Okay, so that's your 52, and tell me what your tell me more about the rewards club, or the how are you figuring out who gets what? How does that work?
So our rewards club, this is for our Sphere and our past customers. That's how you get entered. And there's giveaways. Every single month we have a giveaway. It could be, post a picture and we'll choose. We budget $300 every single month so that we're giving something away. And they're having fun. Again, some of our database is connecting with us a little more socially. It's a private group, so we can add them, we can remove them. And a lot of times they can even give us referrals. We can message them directly whenever we want to just say, hey, thanks for, RSVPing, or we're going to do the invites. So part of that 100 Touch program, they're getting the giveaway. So we're posting in there for the giveaways. We've got at least once a month when we're doing giveaways, all of our events. So we had 10 major events that was scheduled this year. Of course, we're having to make those virtual. But we've got a touch plan that goes out to them for the events. So every single touch plan, they're getting 4 to 5 additional touches for each event. They're getting a text message, a phone call, like a slide broadcast that we'll use for the voicemail. And then the actual event itself, where they're coming, which is really, really nice. Our virtual events, between the mailers now and the emails, you can see how it quickly goes over 100 for everyone.
Okay. So one of the things that you mentioned, I heard you mention Sly, and I know what that is. But that reminds me, a lot of our listeners and folks watching this will want to know what are the systems that you're using? What's the technology you're using? So when you say Sly, you're talking about Sly Dial, right? And that's a way to leave direct voicemails, right?
Yes.
So I could do a voicemail to 100 people without calling 100 times, and then maybe they pick up, and then I have a conversation that maybe I don't want to have. So what message are you leaving on a slide dial? And they really think you're leaving a voicemail?
They do, because even though the initial number, doesn't come through, it just drops as a voicemail. It'll recognize that number as a voicemail. So if it is from their agent or it's from the team, if they've got it saved, they'll see it. But what happens, again, a lot of people don't listen to voicemails anymore. They see it, and instantly they text you back. What's this about? So it's a nice way to engage, and it's just, hey, we just wanted to invite you. We've got another, family night coming up. We have another trivia or another bingo night. Just wanted to make sure you knew you were invited, and we hope to see you there. It's very simple.
I love it. And it's giving me ideas right now, because one of the things that I'm interested in doing too is getting people to, a big event that we have, Mega Camp, and I don't have time to call the hundreds of people that I would like to invite. So great idea. I have an event, right? So one of the things is get an event, right? And maybe it doesn't even have to be your event, right? What about that? What if you go out and you find cool events? You don't have to put the event on, right? And now I'm leaving, to my sphere, let's say 500 people, I'm just leaving a slide dial. It's like, hey, it's Paul Morris. CC, I was thinking about you. There's this great event, which is da-da-da-da-da. It's on Zoom, or, there's a social distancing event here in Santa Monica, and would love to see you there, or at least let you know what's going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's
great move, right?
You just never know how someone's going to respond, and instead of like, hey, how would you like to be your preferred contact method? You don't really know that on the masses. So call them. It's like, any other lead generation. Call them, leave them a voicemail, follow up with a text, send them an email.
Mm-hmm. Call them, leave them a voicemail, follow up with a text, send them an email. Right. I definitely find in my own sort of lead generation is that, calling, and sometimes when I don't really use slide dial. I mean, I know what it is. I have it. I have used it before. I'm going to use it after this, after our conversation. So I appreciate that. But when I call and it goes to, and I'm usually doing what I would call high dollar calls, right? So I'm not, just sort of randomly calling all these people. I'm calling somebody that's important for me to connect with, and it'll go to voicemail often. And when I follow up, I leave a voicemail, but when I follow that up with a text, it's tremendously powerful versus not.
Yes.
The difference is just massive, right? So that'll be step 2. So I'm going to send all these slide dials now that we've had our conversation. And then after I do that, I'm going to type out a somewhat generic message. I can certainly customize it a bit. And then I'm going to hit send on a text message to them. Hey, CC, just dropped you a voicemail. The voicemail will be a little more generic. It was because I'm not going to say your name because I'm sending it to 300 people. So be like, hey, I was thinking about you. I've got this fabulous event in Santa Monica. It's social distancing. Would love to see you there, or at least let you know I'm thinking about you. Okay, great. And then afterwards, then I've got, a text message that says, hey, CC. That's the only thing I might customize, and then drop the rest of it, which is, that generic message. And I think that'll have a big impact.
It does. And as a receiver of so many voicemails, I can't tell you how much I appreciate someone just saying, hey, here's what my voicemail was about. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I can determine if I want to have a conversation with them, if it actually requires me to have a conversation with them. I find that is respectful. Just text me what you want. Yeah. I'll make the decision if it's important for a conversation, or was that really just an FYI and we don't need to talk.
Yeah, I love it. And I really recommend, doing the things. Look, some people back in the day, right, when we used to be able to do it, a lot of people hated the door knock. So don't door knock, but find the thing that you really love to do and make sure you're doing it, because this is still a contact sport for sure.
For sure.
Okay. So sorry, slide dial. I got a little distracted. So what other technology are you using?
So we talked about BombBomb a little bit. Had it for years. We're really going to mark out a consistent video content calendar, something that could be easily utilized. Even for educational purposes, you can push that out to your database. They like to be educated too. So we use BombBomb for that.
Can I ask one question about BombBomb? So BombBomb's a video interface. I know BombBomb. I've used that quite a bit. You can customize it a little bit. That's cool. On your BombBomb, when you say you're going to do a content calendar, you're going to push out the BombBombs. You're not doing an individual BombBomb. You're doing a BombBomb that you're going to send out to how many people?
So for our database of our rewards club, it's under 500.
Okay. But you are making one video and then you're sending it out to 500.
I try to do, my favorite thing to do with video is I prepare several topics. Mm-hmm. And I will come in, I will record them. I could knock out anywhere from 5 to 10 videos super fast. And then the girls, if they tell me what topics that they want or give me an idea, I'll shoot the videos and then send it over to marketing. They can edit it and then they can schedule out those posts, whether that be for social media. I'll upload them to BombBomb. After they get edited, then we can reuse those for YouTube. So it's multi-purpose.
Okay. I got to dig deeper. I love it because these are great. These are amazing nuggets. So 5 to 10 topics. Give me an example. Give me 2 or 3 examples of what a BombBomb is going to be about for you.
It could be an expired video. It could be like, for instance, our new our Reno Now pay letter program. So I give you a quick overview about that program. Getting a little feedback. It could be education on new construction, right? Mm-hmm. When like a video series on new construction. Right now, the lumber prices have increased. It could just be informative like that. It could be around, hey, you've received a cash offer from Zillow or, another iBuyer program. What do you do? What does that mean? How does that compare? Mm-hmm. So strictly educational purposes, or it could be our little commercial. Hey, we want to invite you to bingo. And, this past one, I did a video to invite them to the cooking class, which was chicken cacciatore was what we were cooking. And I just did a little, 30-second, I can't wait to see you guys there. And we're cooking Italian.
I love it. And then for that particular video, did you have a professional chef do the chicken cacciatore? Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's not CC cooking.
No, you would not want CC to cook.
Okay. So then you get a professional chef. How do you get the professional chef to do it?
I want to say he had done it before. That was one of his little pivots. And I knew him. He used to be the chef of a local restaurant. And we reached out and I knew that he made meals. And so we went to him. We're like, hey, we would love to have, at first we were thinking it would be a date night. Now we're not calling it date night. It's just called a virtual cooking class. It goes over much better. What we're finding is we do get a lot of people that will RSVP. And then we typically have around, anywhere from 5 to 10 people that actually show up, that they buy their ingredients. And it's your own cooking class. So he's at his house in his kitchen. We're all at our house at our kitchens, and we have the ingredients. And he's interactive. He's like, you're going to cut it like this. And he's asking people, like, show me your dish. What do you have? What questions? He's just very engaging. And if someone wants to ask questions separate from the dish, they're just cooking questions. Hey, I want to cook something like this. What would you suggest? I can't get this right.
Wow, you're giving me great ideas already. And here's another taste of reality that I'm not sure I would have thought to ask you. I'm so glad you said it. And that is, you're doing all this outreach. You're sending this video out. You're creating a BombBomb, and it's like, hey, I'm thinking about you. we're going to have our, chef. There's a guy, I was thinking Chef Bobby, because it's a guy I know, or Chef Jeffrey Sod is a guy that I interviewed for this Real Estate Rockstars. Is a fabulous realtor also. It's like, hey, we're having a virtual cooking class with Chef Jeffrey Sod and and you're doing all this outreach, and guess what? And you've got a machine that has done 219 closed units year to date, and you're working with 8 or 9 people that show up. See, if I do that class, I'm going to be honest, if I do that class and I didn't hear this podcast and I didn't hear it from you and I did all that stuff and then I get there and now it's my first one. So if you have 9, right, I'm going to have 3 or 4. And I'm like, geez, I got Jeffrey Sod here. Okay. Cooking. I ran out and bought the ingredients. I'm going to cook with them. And I got 4 people. This is a waste of time. Okay. That's what I'd be afraid of. And now it's amazing to hear you say you're crushing it and you're getting 8 or 9. So talk to me about that.
It's not about who shows up. It's never about who shows up. It's never about the event itself, right? You're offering people an opportunity to connect with you. And it's, as we talked about, it's all about the connections. This is a contact sport. So we're reaching out 3 to 4 times, promoting the events. And then the ones that show up, we get really great engagement. They're happy, they're relaxed, they're in their home. And really, we just want to connect with them on something that they like to do. And it might be a different set of people, it might be a different set of 10 people that show up for bingo and a different set of 10 people that show up for trivia. So as you're finding out what your database likes, we did sports theme, we're trying to change it up. It's just reinvent it every single time, change it up. And you get that I say this all the time, there is no substitute for face-to-face. Yeah. No substitute. If you don't like to door knock, then get those people on a Zoom, get them engaging. You could have, right, you could pick anything you want. It could be a craft class. It could be learn to use a dang Cricut machine. Hey, you want to be crafty at your home and you have a Cricut? We're going to have a Cricut expert, and it's one of those lasers. You could truly find little niches within your database to have little fun classes like this. And people bring their kids on too. They play bingo with us. The kids are in the kitchen. It's really cool just creating that family environment and watching everyone do something as a family together.
Boy, oh boy. Seriously, I'm so glad I asked, I'm so glad that I caught on to that, because my takeaway, and I've written it down, and I'm sure I'll put it in our Instagram blast for this show, was it's never about who shows up. It's about giving the opportunity to connect, or giving your audience the opportunity to connect. And here's the cool thing. Again, think about yourself as the receiving end of this. And so I'm like, I get the 52 newsletters from CC. Okay, that's cool. Now I get a personal invite. Maybe it's a slide dial followed up with a text or whatever. And it's saying, hey, I'm having a cooking class with this really cool chef on Saturday night. And, here's the ingredient list. Go run out and buy the stuff, and we'll see you Saturday night. Now I look at that and I go, not doing it. Right. And I might not even text back and say, thanks for thinking of me. But I do think in my heart, thanks for thinking of me. I really do. And so you could actually send me 10, I'm just talking about me, right? You could send me 10, 15 of those. I may never go even say thanks, but I'm like, you know what? She's cool. That's cool. I'm not into bingo. I'm not going to cook. I'm going to go out, with my girlfriend on Saturday night, But I'm like, that is cool. Right.
Yeah.
How many events are you doing?
So we had 10, scheduled. So we had to change every single event, post-COVID.
10 events a year.
Yes. This was I think we had 8, maybe 7 or 8 last year. So we had 10 planned. And once COVID hit, that was, again, right, that's all part of real estate. Something happens, you have to change what you do, figure it out. So we went virtual. And so everything we've been doing, the ones that got canceled, so baseball games, we typically do a baseball game, that got canceled. So that's where virtual has taken the place. We have fall family photos that are coming up. We have our pie. We're still doing the pie giveaway. And then we do a huge Cookies with Santa event every single year. And we have over 300 people that show up. That one is it's for our customers and our community. So that's 2-part farming event that we do. And of course, can't have 300 people in a tiny little space with Santa.
Of course.
So our team came up with the idea of having a Christmas movie. It's a golf cart community, so kind of a drive-in Christmas show where we're going to give them popcorn and little tiny Santa bags, and we're going to watch a Christmas movie. All outside, distance.
Oh, wow. I love it. Do you think that because now these aren't in-person events, do you think that moving that number, just a question, right? Do you think moving that number from 10 up to, let's say, 24 makes sense? So that now I'm sort of curating an event, and you can do it a little less hands-on, because I understand your cooking class, you're actually going out, you're buying the ingredients, you're there with the chef. I mean, you're there at your house, the chef is cooking alongside of you. That's super cool. I'm going to try that. I'm going to give that tip to Jeffrey Saad, who's my famous chef friend who's a great realtor in LA. And now I would want to push this to once every 2 weeks, because people are really looking for things to do. Mm-hmm. Do you think that makes sense, or is that just too much? Or
I think if you were so great with your database that it was segmented, that you were able to start to tag and filter people with what they wanted, we're nowhere close to that. So I think with the amount of touches, where I say we don't want them to overlap, we need time to market and touch them, set up the Eventbrite links, get the registration, send it. So for our process, we're doing about 2 things a month. However, they're not 2 events. It's a giveaway for the Rewards Club, and then a virtual event. And then we've got a giveaway and a virtual event. So there's that constant communication. But again, we're not sure what's too much at this point. They are engaging, and we are getting referrals. So that's where we are right now. Okay.
All right. So we've talked a lot about the virtual event. Talk to me, because another big part of what you're doing is the giveaway. So tell me more about the giveaway, and how do I do it? What does that look like? Who am I giving stuff away to? How are they qualifying? How are you figuring out who wins the Apple Watch? That sounds expensive.
But not really. I think the Apple Watch was $500 something. Okay. No, what was it?
Sure.
Or $250. Okay, sorry. I don't buy Apple
Voice
Watch.
Is coming from the invisible.
Yeah, I've got the main woman, director of operations. She wouldn't let me spend $500 on that. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. So we had one that was the Apple Watch. We also gave away a Roomba, right? Okay. So when you're thinking about giveaways, and it's always fun to note the disasters from giveaways. So we did a call in to win, and the Apple Watch. I don't wear watches, so I didn't know how much people like them. We had people that were like dialing one after the other after the other. We had like 3,000 calls coming in to a Google Voice number in a couple of hours. It was insanity. So that one did not have the desired effect of us wanting to talk to 100 people and ask them for referrals, though that was the goal. We now know next time we give away an Apple Watch, their little behinds are going to fill out an entry form. You want to fill it out 3,000 times, be my guest. We want an entry form for that. For our database, we gave away a Roomba, and that's really what it is. You can design it however you want. Every state has different laws when it comes for giveaways and referrals. So you want to manage that. Here in Florida, you cannot say, you cannot be entered to win. It has to be forget the word, but it can't be a lottery. Here, technically, you can't do a lottery. So it's very skill-based is the word I was looking for. So they have to answer a question correctly. They have to be the 100th caller, something like that. be the 100th entry. So that's how we're able to stay within our guidelines and rules for the giveaways. And they don't have to give a referral to win something. So we're very, very clear. And we actually have program guidelines. We have a playbook that is written out specifically with pictures. Here's what you can say. Here's what you cannot say. So anyone in the marketing role can follow that rule book and know what they can do. But the whole purpose of, we call it the reverse 100, is the goal to get 100 people to call us, right? We would love people to call us. And we do that. Our goal is twice a year, no less than twice a year, ideally quarterly. And then monthly, those are just random giveaways. We've got a budget of $300 a month that maybe we'll give away TPC tickets. We will do movie tickets. We'll give away Orlando, Disney ride or Adventure Landing. We're giving people things that they can use to create an experience. It's not like, here, we're going to give you a gift card. Nope. What we're giving away is something that you can actually use and you're going to remember.
Okay. If you have, I love it. I mean, wow. Like what I can learn from this is amazing. I need to do more and more of these interviews with more people like you, because I get smarter every time I do one of these. This is great. And thank you. Right. So one of the things you said was, if you did the Apple Watch thing again, you would do an entry form, right? Because then you're capturing data. I understand that. What would the entry form ask for? It would say name, it would say address, it would phone number, email. How do you prefer to be contacted? And what else? What, if anything else?
Not addresses. We would probably just do name, phone number, email. Do you have a real estate need? And done. Very, very simple.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. I love it. And how are you advertising so you want to get 100 callers to call in. So how are you advertising? How are you getting the 100 callers to call in?
Yes, I would say, so your gift matters. Your giveaway matters. So know your audience, know that. Big is better, or popular. You have to think, what would somebody want that they wouldn't buy for themselves, for the most part. Technology things are always really cool. And let's say Roombas are expensive, those little robot things, and everybody wants one. So we advertise on Facebook. We do the live broadcast, leave a voicemail. We send a text message. They get the email. It's in our weekly emails. Hey, we're doing a giveaway. And if it's a public giveaway, we will run a Facebook ad for it, just for that extra boost when we're doing it for the public.
So how many of these are just to your database, your sphere, and how many are to the public?
We do a lot to our database. So we have once a month, so minimum of 12 giveaways for our database. And we did one call in to win, which was the Roomba. We will likely do another one before the end of the year, or entry.
When you do the call in to win, you might have just said this, but when you do the call in to win, is that to your database or is that to the public, or could be either?
It would be both. I mean, preferably if it's your database, you do want your database to call you.
Okay. All right.
But again, you need people to man the phones. You've got logistics to think about there. The time frame, you could, call in between 12 and 4. And
what are they saying when they call in, when you have the people answering the phone?
Hey, thanks for calling, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, I was like, your normal intro script. And all right, we're going to get your name. They verify. So the same thing that would be in the entry form. What is your name?
Okay, what's your intro script?
I've got it written. I've got it written down.
I love it. You're a phenom at this. You're amazing. And when I ask you for your intro script, you say, "Hey, let me check it out. Let me read it." I love that, because I love how real you are and the amount of business that you do and the experience. And you're saying, hey, we got this wrong, or oh, you want my simple basic script? hang on, I have to actually get it so I can read it. That's cool. I love it.
It is really simple. I can tell you it's probably something like, hey, because we know, right, we have a tracking number. So if they're calling, we know why they're calling. So that's really important. That's how we knew we had 3,000 people in a very little time. It was tracked on Better Voice was the system that we were using to track to get those numbers.
Okay.
And you definitely want to have multiple people on there. Hey, it's a great day. You can use your regular intro script. It's a great day to sell on the CC team. This is CC. How may I help you? Hey, I'm calling about the Apple Watch. Oh, great. Fantastic. Let me get your information. What's your name? What's your email? Best email, your phone number. If it's for your database and you are on a team, one question I would ask was, who is your agent? And then, great, we've got you down. Thanks so much for entering. Oh, by the way, our team has a massive goal to sell additional homes. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate that we could talk to you today? So that's kind of how we casually, I always say it casual with purpose is, oh, by the way, our team has a really big goal. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell? So those are the very few times when we would ask, right? We're giving them something. And a lot of times agents are like, I don't want to ask because I feel like I'm using them. I'm just calling to ask for a referral. No, now you're giving something of value to them. It's much easier to get off the phone and say, oh, by the way, who do you know? And if they say yes or no, so the idea is to have purposeful conversations. And after they say yes or no, or give the name, thank you so much. I hope you win. Have a great day.
And then do you sort of pick it randomly you pick the winner randomly, or you pick the people you like the most?
So depending on your state, again, it does need to be skill-based. So for us, if we're saying you need to be the 100th caller in unique, that we learned that was a purposeful word, 100th unique caller, so they don't call again. Or we're looking for the 100th entry. So you could add into the script, hey, your entry number 54. But whoever is calling, you want to make sure they're keeping a tally on which number they truly are.
Mm-hmm. Got it. This is amazing notes I'm getting. Is there any other technology that you haven't mentioned that you use that you find very useful? So you said Home Voice again. That one I don't know. I know
Better Voice. Mm-hmm.
Home Voice, and what does that do for you?
Better Voice it's like the Google Voice number. So you could choose your area code and it will help choose a phone number for you.
Okay. I got a text message from you because you're so great after the last time we did a webinar, and it had a LA number.
An LA number?
Yeah, you texted me from an LA number. I was like, wow, what's this? Okay. That'll remain a curiosity, but okay.
I let them handle.
Understood. What's one issue that you're currently dealing with? What's one problem that, if we were able to solve it, it would make your business a lot better or easier or more fun? What's a pain point?
Pain point for us right now, of course, is listings. I think like a lot of people right now, the shortage of inventory. Mm-hmm. So being creative, we're mailing out love letters to neighborhoods for buyers that we can't find homes. We're really just kind of pulling out all the stops, having ISAs, doing whatever we can to have people call old expireds for the buyers that we currently need homes from. Hey, you never sold your home, but we actually have a buyer looking in your price point in your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Would you still want to sell to them directly? Mm-hmm. The mailers have actually gotten us a couple of listings, or we've directly put buyers under contract with homes. So a lot of off-market sales are going on right now. I'd say listings. I mean, someone that needs to sell their home in Amelia Island or Jacksonville.
Right. I love it. What's one thing that if you could do a redo on as a realtor, getting from your first year of 7 houses sold to right now, what's something in that 13 years that you would do as a redo?
Oh. We have a list.
A list of the redos.
I would say probably my most important lesson, and I say this, I would stop comparing I wouldn't have compared myself. I wouldn't have looked at everyone else's business and thought, hey, I need to do that. Like, I really didn't know who I was as a realtor. I was like, oh, I need to be like them. I need to be like them. I need to buy, this CRM and pay $3,000 a month and get 1,000 leads that I had no business. Like, I was never going to be able to call those people. Just, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it was awful knowing I was not going to be that person. I've always been a marketer. And if I would have, like you said, find your passion, find your strength. If I would have stayed true to that in the very beginning, I could be in a different place much faster.
Interesting. So staying true to who you are, and I just call that, being in your superpower, figuring out what is your superpower and staying with that instead of trying to be, like look around and I see people that do one thing great or another thing great. And sure, we can take lessons from them. However, knowing what you're really good at versus what somebody else is good at it makes all the difference in the world.
It's very different. And I've even found growing a team, right? When I get to that point where I could finally grow a team through the ways other people were growing a team, I was miserable. They were miserable. You could just tell no one wanted to do it that way.
Is there anything, I guess another way to do it, and maybe you've answered this really is, what advice would you give yourself as a rookie agent, but maybe it's stay true to yourself, or do you have another answer to that?
And you definitely want to stay true to yourself. It's get advice, know who you are. You don't have to, we laugh about, you don't have to be the professional realtor, right? You need to be you. Just be authentic, be smart. Go educate yourself, be the best that you can at what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. And that'll give you the, being a phenomenal realtor alone does not get you the business that you need to do, that you need to have. So that's why when I do these interviews, I'm so on it in terms of how do you get your business? How can we learn? What can we learn more to get more business? And no matter how many tips you give, by the way, I always give my tips out, publicly because so few people actually do it. You'll get more agent referral business by doing a podcast like this, sharing all of your secrets than you will creating, some sort of competitive issue. So I love your willingness on that for sure. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you feel like is good information to a very broad real estate rock star audience?
I think the one thing that has been my business mantra is where people flee, I will go. And I use that a lot. And it is when the majority has an opinion, I am going to be the first person to interrogate it and figure out why. And is there a way that I can gain some leverage from that, right? It's a smaller space. The same thing happens with COVID when the business changes. Okay, well, everyone at that point just stopped. Everyone did nothing. And so when the majority is like, okay, well, I have to do something, right? Not doing anything is just not an option. And we even had that conversation with our team. This isn't an option. Like we need to change our events. We have to do something and move forward for peace of mind, for sanity, to keep a focus on moving forward, even if it's something tiny. Change your business. Our model has changed every couple of years and it'll continue to change.
I love it. Why don't I just ask you what's a way our audience can get in touch with you and maybe your Instagram, social media, that sort of thing. 'Cause I'd love to, follow you and learn more about what you're doing day to day. What's a good venue for that?
I would say, so connect with me on Facebook, my personal Facebook, CC Underwood. It does have little dots in there, but there's really not dots in my name. So connect with me on Facebook would be the absolute best, or certainly you guys can email me at CC, which is Charlie at sellingwithcc.com. Those are the two best places. I'm actually very private person, so you're not going to get a whole lot from seeing but definitely connect with me and I'm happy to share and just do what I can to help your business.
Sure. I love it. So gracious. And for somebody that does the amount of business that you do, really cool. You can find me at Paul Mark Morris, which is MARK, Morris, MORRIS. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, where I'm spending more and more time. I'm going to figure out TikTok. I really am.
TikTok.
I'll get on the TikTok dance club, I guess. And of course, Real Estate Rockstars podcast, YouTube channel, and Instagram. We're going to post all of that stuff. Our editor will go in and help me out with all that stuff as well. And, we ask everybody to give a free gift, which I saw that you sent in, but I didn't have time to click on it and figure out what is it. So tell us, what's the free gift?
So it's going to be our touch plan that we talked about today. So you can see exactly how we budget and allocate what those gifts were for our giveaways. You're going to be able to see everything, our events and the giveaway. So we're going to send that out to everyone.
Wow, that is massively generous of you to do, and really, really appreciate it, because it's really lifting up the realtors and our audience. Really, really useful. We'll post that as well in our giveaway section. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Real Estate Rockstars, another great interview. I think that you can't go wrong listening to CC Underwood and incorporating some of these things. And if you have any referrals in Jacksonville, I know where I'm going to send mine. There you go. I love it. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Bye.
Rockstar Nation, thank you for listening to Real Estate Rockstars. Listen, I need a favor. If you find this free content helpful, if you find our downloadable items from each guest helpful, please, I need you to pull out your pointing finger. Yes, the one finger that points at people, and hit subscribe. Yes, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better we look in the ratings, and the easier it is to get guests like Robert Kiyosaki, Barbara Corcoran, all the players that are on $1 million listing in the different cities. All that stuff makes it easier the more subscribers we get. So please subscribe. And listen, there's a lot of places you can leave comments. There's a lot of places you can like. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page. Instagram page is I am Pat Hyben. The Facebook is Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Feel free to leave us comments there. The most popular form of commenting seems to happen on YouTube. Yes, for whatever reason, it's a very open environment. So just go to YouTube and go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Leave us comments there. Some of them we will read on the show. We love your feedback. So thanks, guys, and I hope you are having a great day. Oh, and also, listen, if you're going to subscribe and you haven't already left a review on iTunes, please do that too. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Rockstar Nation. I really appreciate you.